Okay, it was time for diversionary tactics. I thought I saw a little girl down on the beach.
You must be mistaken.
He must be mistaken. Mustn't he, Frost?
I'm sure I'm not. A little girl and that young fisher boy.
What? It's not possible. What were they doing?
Oh, the kinds of things that all little boys and girls get up to at their age.
When I was a little girl, we used to play cows and milkmaids.
Woe betide you if you're lying to us, Mr. Stobart. Heaven help you.
With a creak of ancient corsetry, the sisters sailed majestically over the distant horizon. I couldn't reach the flagpole, and a bush stopped me from moving the ladder across. It was locked. It was a closed window. The window was locked. Did you see the sisters go by?
Yeah, they wanted to string that Fisher brat up. Of course, I told them where to find him.
A fink as well as a creep. Nice.
But he'd managed to vanish somehow.
Catch you later, Bronson. Did you see the weird sisters come by here?
Did I? They look madder than usual, so I hide until they're gone by.
Just as well. They thought you were playing with Emily. Boy, were they steamed.
Emily, you're madder than them.
Can you let me have a fish, kid?
I thought you say you don't like fish.
It's not for me. It's a present.
For the old ladies? Well, it makes a change from flowers and candy.
No, it's for their cat.
Okay. What do I get out of it?
I can pay you. I've got Quarramontian dollars, French francs, and traveler's checks.
You must be joking. The nearest bank is 3 islands away.
Is this worm worth a fish?
Could be good bait. How did it die?
I think it drowned in tequila.
Just like my Uncle Gabriel. Yeah, I'll have that. Okay, I'll get you a fish. It might take a while though.
No luck with a fish?
No, man. They don't want bite. That's 'cause they know there's a storm brewing.
Storm? I don't think so.
Hey! I caught a bite!
You have?
It's a big one! A real big one!
Reel him in, Rio. Jeez, it must be a whale or something.
Rustiest whale I ever see.
I still need a fish, Rio.
Okay, make me try again.
Maybe you better change your bait. It was half a rusting bicycle frame. The only serviceable part of the bicycle's wreck was a rubber inner tube. You just never know when you're going to need stuff like that. There was nothing else on the bicycle wreck I could use.
There's a fish, my man.
I can't put it in my pocket while it's flapping about like that.
No problem.
Nah, I didn't have the throwing strength to knock the marker off. I'd have to do that from the ground. That should get the old cat dancing. I just hoped it didn't give itself a cardiac. A large tree stood beside the house, with a suggestive U formed by the branches. I couldn't think of any reason to climb the tree. I put the ball in the catapult. Took aim. Yes! Okay, so it was a lucky shot, but I'd knocked the theodolite target clean off the end of the flagpole.
What the hell's going on here?
Hi, Bronson. Nice to see you, too.
You again. Have you been screwing around with my theodolite target? Where is it? I had to climb out of the window to put that one on. Damn it, I'm gonna have to go through all that again.
Not this time. The house is locked up and the sisters aren't here.
Hell's teeth! I'll have to put the spare target on the other flagpole. A whole morning's work wasted. I'm gonna fix all this and then I'm gonna fix you, you hear?
Yeah? Fine. I'll be waiting.
Ah!
What you doing, Bronson? Just hanging around?
I'm gonna kill you for this, Stobart! Get me down from here!
What, so you can kill me? Gee, you talked me out of it, Bronson. I felt a little guilty about leaving Bronson up there, but not much, obviously. The marker was a bright, shiny thing, and I have a weakness for bright, shiny things. It wasn't going to be much use without the theodolite, though.
Hey, get me down!
What's the magic word?
Please!
Oh, bad luck. I was thinking of Alakazam. I had no more to talk to him about. With Bronson out of the way, I could finally get a clear look at the plans. Engineers' drawings didn't mean much to me, but one thing was clear. These plans were for a 5-story, 200-roomed, luxury, pirate-themed hotel. Another stain on the bedspread of paradise.
You there? Why is Mr. Bronson hanging from that flagpole?
He climbed up there of his own accord.
Then help him, you stupid man! Quickly, before he falls!
Here, Bronson's plans.
This means nothing to me.
She's not wearing her reading glasses.
Ah, wait! Yes, I see now. I see it all too clearly. That man is planning to build a huge hotel. Bronson is a confidence trickster. Mina, we have been duped. I'm glad we didn't sign his contract.
Oh, I hate tricksters, especially confident ones.
Come, Mina. Mr. Bronson, you may consider yourself persona non grata.
Yes. Cave Canum.
Kindly disentangle yourself from our flagpole and eject yourself from our property this very minute.
Disentangle. Eject.
Hey, cut that out, you crazy old bat!
How dare you! Mina isn't crazy, she's just engagingly eccentric.
Yeah, as a bedbug. Ouch!
Lovely as this little vista is, I'd be really grateful if you could let me into the museum now.
Certainly, young man. We are most grateful to you for exposing this scoundrel, Mina, the lock.
Thanks, ladies.
Stobart, be a pal. Get these harpies off me. Ooh!
While George was basking in the sun-drenched Caribbean, I went to bed. It was a long shot, but I thought I'd start my search for the Jaguar Stone at the British Museum. The carving looked Central or South American in style, perhaps Aztec. I doubted I could sneak this enormous stone out under my jacket. It was a woven wall hanging with a South American design.
Excuse me, miss. Please don't touch the exhibits.
It was a stone identical in size and style to the Coyote stone. However, this stone bore the image of a jaguar. The cabinet was locked. The two Japanese girls were inexplicably amused by something. Bonjour. I wonder if you could help me.
Ohayo gozaimasu.
What's so funny? Oh, never mind. The display case contained a couple of vases. Perhaps I'm a Philistine, but old vases bore me. The carving looked Buddhist in subject, but Mesoamerican in execution. I wanted nothing to do with that statue. It made me nervous somehow. There was a huge carving of somebody who must have been important once. There was nothing I wanted to do with the statue except find out where he bought his hat. Très chic. It was a small flat square of polished obsidian. Nothing like the one I was looking for. According to the caption, this was the scrying mirror given to Dr. John Dee by Sir Francis Drake. The cabinet was locked. The cabinet contained a dagger decorated with Mayan designs. The cabinet was locked. The attendant didn't show it, but I sensed he was watching my every move.
Can I help you, miss?
What can you tell me about the scrying mirror?
That belonged to the alchemist and part-time Elizabethan spy, Dr. John Dee. It was brought back from the New World by Sir Francis Drake and presented to him. It's Mayan, you know.
What is a scrying mirror?
It's rather like a crystal ball, and you can't see anything in it. Apparently, he had a partner who used it to talk with angels. If you ask me, you were barking mad.
Have you ever heard of an English sea captain called El Draco?
El Draco? Not a very English name.
I think that's what the Spanish would have called him. It was about the time of the conquistadors.
16th century. Oh, I know. That's what the Spanish called Sir Francis Drake.
Francis Drake? Have you got anything here that belonged to him?
Indeed, miss. We have a couple of artifacts he brought back from one of his journeys.
It didn't look anything like the coyote stone. This one was like a little black shaving mirror. Is the scrying mirror the only piece of obsidian Drake gave Dee?
Funny you should ask. There's another called the Jaguar Stone. Dee never liked it, though. Said there were angels in the mirror, but devils in that stone.
Can I take a closer look at Dee's mirror, please?
No, you cannot. That's why the cabinet is locked. They tried some newfangled interactive scheme. And you can guess what happened. Bloody kids ran off with half the exhibits. Hands-on experience, my foot. In my days, it was hands off, I ask you. What do kids know about ancient Mayan civilization? Nothing.
Can you tell me something about the Jaguar stone?
Certainly, miss. The so-called Jaguar Stone was brought back from the Americas by Sir Francis Drake and presented with, as you already know, the more famous scrying mirror to John Dee. The old loony didn't like the stone, though. Reckoned it was tainted by the devil. Come along, miss. I'll show you the mirror.
I've already... Oh, never mind.
There. John Dee's famous scrying mirror, given to him by Francis Drake.
Do you know if this mirror has any relevance to Tezcatlipoca?
Who? I can't even say it. There's someone here who'll be able to help you better than me. This young lady has some questions to ask, Professor. I think she's from France.
Professor Roubillier?
Eh? What?
You two know each other, do you? Excuse me, the telephone.
We meet again.
Mademoiselle, France, eh?
Yes, I believe that's where you live, Professor.
I have a house there, on the outskirts of Paris, but I haven't been back for many months.
I thought you were going to stay in Quaramonte to witness the eclipse.
Alas, business comes first. An important consignment of artifacts on loan to the British Museum. But I intend to return to Quaramonte in plenty of time.
Professor Roubillier, your taxi's here.
If you'll excuse me, I have some urgent business to attend to at the docks.
Can you answer me some questions about the Jaguar stone?
Certainly, miss. If you just step this way. It's gone. Some sods half-inched it.
Half-inched?
Stolen it, miss. Never mind. The silent alarm will have been tripped. I'm afraid nobody can leave until our crack security team gets here.
How long will that take?
Could be a while. I think it's their tea break.
The thief could be miles away by then.
Don't you worry about that, miss. Just don't try to leave.
It was too much of a coincidence that Oublier showed up and the stone promptly disappeared. I didn't have time for their crack security team to finish their tea. I had to get after him. There was nothing very useful in my bag, just a single hair clip. It was a hair clip. It was a small key intended for a small lock. Look at this. The thief left this key in the cabinet.
Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
That makes the theft an inside job, right?
Oh dear.
In other words, the thief was Professor Oublier.
Well, let's leave that for the police to decide, shall we? I better phone them right away. Hello?
I knew I had nothing to worry about if the police were called.
Yes, I'll hold.
But I had to catch up with Oublier, and fast. The doors were securely locked. The key unlocked the case. I locked the case again and took the key. It was an obsidian dagger, thin and razor sharp. The dagger might lever open the doors, but I wasn't going anywhere until I knew where Oublier had gone.
You'll have to be quick, miss. I'm on the phone.
Don't you think it's suspicious that Oublier has urgent business at the docks?
Not in the slightest, young lady. He's gone to oversee the unloading of cargo, an exhibition of Mayan sculpture on loan from Mexico City.
What's the name of the ship?
The Xibalba Princess.
I levered the handle open with the thin dagger.
The room had been decorated to resemble the interior of a sailing ship. It was disturbingly effective. It was a neat oil lantern made of brass. Holding that lantern, I felt kinda biblical. Like Jesus or Florence Nightingale. It was a beautifully crafted model of a sailing ship. The ship looked too fragile to touch. It was an old book with spidery writing covering the open pages. March 20th. 1670 fix. Engaged frigate off Fan Salvador? It was garbage. Huh. I guess being a pirate didn't require too many academic qualifications. The passage went on to describe how Ketch had got wind of the approach of a fleet of English ships. It seemed the new governor had not shared his predecessor's views on Ketch's activities. They were out for his blood. Sailed to that place where I made secure my fortune. I returned safe in the knowledge that the governor shall not discover that which I had hidden. For is it not writ that 'tis easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle? It was Captain Ketch's sea chest. Its battered appearance hinted at salty tales of maritime adventure and swashbuckling. Long months at sea with a rum-sodden, mutinous crew, hardtack and scurvy. And this chest, full to the brim with Ketch's loot, pearls, diamonds, emeralds, and doubloons. On the other hand, it could have been full of spare blankets.
Surprise!
What the? Who are you?
I'm Emily.
What were you doing in there, Emily?
Hiding. What are you doing here?
Grown-up stuff.
Grown-ups? Pfft, I'm never going to grow up, I'm not. You shouldn't be here. What's your name?
I'm George.
Pleased to meet you, Jaws.
George.
Jaws?
Jeez.
Make your mind up.
What can you tell me about Captain Ketch?
That's him on the wall, in the picture.
Yeah? Boy, that's interesting.
He was a sailor captain. This is his house.
Why don't you go play with Rio?
I'm not allowed.
How come?
Because Aunt Frost says I'm not allowed out of the house. That's why, Mr. Nosy Beak.
Too bad. Why don't you ask your other aunt if you can play with Rio?
Aunt Mina's cuckoo. Aunt Frost says so. She says when the Lord handed out common sense, Aunt Mina was off getting double portions of chin.
I bet you can't keep this piece of coal in your mouth for the next half hour.
Could too. I could keep it in my mouth for hours and hours and hours.
Yeah? Go on then. Prove it.
Don't want to. And if you try to make me, I'll tell Aunt Mina.
Would you like to play darts?
No?
Oh, come on. I'll throw, you catch.
That's dangerous. Darts will stick in me and make me bleed.
Do you know how to use a theodolite?
We don't learn anything about surveying at my school. Not until 5th grade.
That Rio's a smart kid. He helped me outwit Bronson.
Rio is clever. He can spit ever so far.
Look, an ancient Mayan stone.
Is that a magic stone?
Well, I don't know about that.
No.
It was an actual pirate ship chart. Okay, I've had my hands on an historical document. Now what? The chart fitted exactly into the recess on the top of the desk.
What you doing, Jaws?
I'm putting this old map on the desk
What you doing that for, Jaws?
because it was obviously intended to fit in this recessed area.
How'd you work that out?
It's obvious. It was one of those old pens made out of a feather. That might come in useful in ticklish situations.
What you doing now, Jaws?
Knock it off, will ya? There's something you ought to know. I don't buy cute or lost puppy. I'm just borrowing this feather, that's all.
Why?
I might be able to make use of it.
You gonna steal it? That's bad. I'm gonna tell on you.
No, don't do that.
Why not?
Well, because I'm not stealing, just borrowing. Maybe that wheel was from Ketch's ship. Suddenly, I was 12 years old again. Hard a port, bosun. Aye, aye, Captain Stobart. She cannot take it, Captain. My lad's dead. Abandoned ship. Captain Frederick Ketch, 1570. Around his neck was a cross. Maybe he was a part-time pirate. It was the portrait of Captain Ketch. The portrait might have made a nice souvenir, but it was too large to carry. It was a ship's bell.
2 bells and all's well.
Pirates were cool. It was an old wooden barrel. Maybe it was from Ketch's ship. Yow! I should have known better than to put my hand in there. Grandma Stobart had a nasty experience in a water butt once. The desk had obviously been cut to fit the chart. Or maybe vice versa. It was the holder for the quill. It was an indented well in the corner of the desk. I guess it was intended to hold ink, but it seemed unnecessarily wide. Maybe Ketch had used it to hold his rum bottles steady in heavy seas. The lantern fitted so precisely in the inkwell, it could only be deliberate.
What you doing now?
Grown-up stuff.
I doubt that.
I've put the lantern in the inkwell. See? It fits.
Why?
Because it was cut to fit.
Why?
Because sneaky old Captain Ketch made it that way.
Why?
What is with all the questions?
'Cause I'm interested.
Why?
'Cause I have the insatiable curiosity of the young.
Why?
All right. Truce.
Why don't you run along and play?
Aunt Mina told me. Stay out of mischief.
Well, that doesn't mean you have to stay indoors, does it? On a beautiful day like today?
There's a storm coming.
Oh, nuts. You don't know that.
I do so. I can see the whole world from the window.
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm busy. That cross you're wearing, Emily,
It's my lucky Jesus cross.
it's just like the one Captain Ketch wore.
Uh-huh.
Can I borrow it?
Uh-uh.
What would you trade for that cross, Emily?
A puppy.
Well, I don't happen to have a puppy in my pocket right now. Can you think of anything else you'd trade?
Don't know.
There were several things I wanted to say to that awful kid, but I held my tongue. What do you give to a small, irritating girl who asks about everything?
Try a conch. Delicate colors, interesting shape, and when you put it to your ear, you can hear the sea.
Yeah, why's that?
Usually because you're standing next to it.
Cool. Have you got one?
Yeah, but I promised it to my sister. She well vexed with me.
Why is your sister mad with you?
Well, last night when I got home with our supper, she went wild. Rio, she said, how come all you ever catch is puffer fish? A sicker puffer fish. What I want is tiger fish. So don't bother come back home till you catch one, boy. I don't see how I'm gonna catch no tiger fish. All I have is a fishing pole and a worm.
What do you need to catch a tiger fish?
One of them real fancy flies like the rich fishermen use.
Any use for a quill?
What's a quill?
It's what people used to write with in Captain Ketch's days.
No, man. I'd sooner be fishing.